has the memo based on my work, that says that yes, weapons of mass destruction, as confirmed by me, as confirmed by James Woolsey, former director of the CIA, were sold VX gas, nerve gas, to Saddam Hussein via, Mr. Rumsfeld and Mr. Cheney. Okay, gee, imagine, or could you imagine two nicer guys doing something like that?
Hello, everyone.
Okay.
Once again, this is Luca Majno. I'm here with Frank Gregory Ford. This is Global News Update on Tlbtv, courtesy of the Liberty Beacon. And this is where we give you complete, backstage, up-to-date info as to the developments occurring in our world today. And like I say on a lot of shows, we have a lot of developments occurring in our world today. And before I give the floor to Greg, first of all, Greg, how are you from California? You're a little dark. You're a little dark. Can you turn just a bit? So,
okay.
How's California, Greg?
Oh, it's a beautiful day. Beautiful, sparkling. All right. And it hasn't been, the last few days have been pretty cold, pretty wet.
Yes.
But hey, it was a spectacular day for a Sunday drive.
Well, it's very, very cold here for some strange reason. It just it goes from up down all the time. It was something like 55 degrees, and all of a sudden it drops to -7 with the wind chill factor in a matter of days, and it's up and down. You wonder why. Of course, we have the chemtrails galore. So, without further ado, Greg, what's going on in the world today? What's happening? You have a lot of developments that just happened.
Okay. Well, all right. By the way, this is an emergency broadcast. Okay. How often have we said that? Not once. This is the first. All right. Everybody, will hear this message. It's Sunday today, but they'll hear it on Monday. Okay. Right. A representative with Donald Trump, DEVIN NUNEZ. Okay. That name should be familiar by now. Well, there is a panic situation in Washington, D.C., this nation's capital, okay? And you're going to love it, folks. You are just going to love it. I'll just tell you. It comes out to something like this. A memo, all right, that has basically been built on my work, my research, and my efforts to get it out to the public, to warn the public, okay, about what has happened, about what your glorious leaders, that most leaders, and I think you'll agree after I tell you what's going on, they should be in Leavenworth Prison, Kansas, Leavenworth, Kansas. Yeah. Okay. DEVIN NUNEZ has the memo based on my work, that says that yes, weapons of mass destruction, as confirmed by me, as confirmed by James Woolsey, former director of the CIA, were sold. The VX gas, nerve gas, was sold to Saddam Hussein via, Mr. Rumsfeld and Mr. Cheney. Okay, gee, imagine, or could you imagine two nicer guys doing something like that, which then those weapons were proceeded to destroy 500,000 Kurds, 500,000, and then turned right around and dropped on the Iranian people, okay? Mainly Iranian soldiers. Close to 1 million Iranian soldiers died thanks to the Carlyle Group. Yes, the Carlyle Group. And who started the Carlyle Group? Mr. Bush, the greatest reptile we've ever had in office, an American office, the greatest reptile we've ever had. And this whole incident was based on the fact that his son, Marvin Bush, allowed the World Trade Center to be wired for demolition and destroyed, paid for by the Saudis, by the Saudis, and we both know that, okay? But the big thing is yes, James Woolsey confirmed that the CIA did send Saddam Hussein weapons of mass destruction. knew about it and encouraged it. Okay.
Mhm.
I don't know how they greet you, but I know from the time I located those weapons of mass destruction and my command immediately sought to shut me up. Okay. I put my life at great danger, okay, to get this information, first of all, to the American government. But it turns out it was my own government. It was your own government who put those weapons mass destruction in Iraq and then said, let's invade Iraq to get rid of these weapons of mass destruction.
Right.
They were right. There were weapons of mass destruction there. But the problem was, folks, the sitting president of the United States, George W. Bush, son of George H.W. Bush, brother to Marvin Bush.
Mhm.
Are we seeing a pattern here? Okay. Said they couldn't find those weapons after it was confirmed that they were sold, shipped by the Carlyle Group. That's what's on the memo. And what has happened, folks? Here's the problem. Here's the problem. Okay. The Republican Party doesn't want that information coming out.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? The Republican Party brought you 9/11. The Republican Party brought you weapons mass destruction. The Republican Party brought you 12,000 dead in Iraq. And there's more dying. There's more yet to come. Okay.
Mhm.
Now they're trying to say, the Republicans are trying to get Donald Trump to classify this. Pardon me, last time I heard war crimes and treason can't be classified. They're trying, though. All right.
Mhm.
Remember, Donald Trump was the one who brought you the release of the Kennedy papers, but he didn't really release them. Okay.
It just looked
I mean,
good. Yeah.
yeah, just a token amount. Okay. Well, that's what, and if you think I'm joking, if you think I'm full of it, folks, please think again. Washington's coming apart at the seams right now because that basically says that the Republicans were responsible for thousands and thousands and thousands of dead Americans to keep their dirty business, okay, covered up and keep it from hitting the press.
Right.
All right? That's what we have. And the Democrats want it released. They want that information released on Wednesday so you folks can hear about it. That's it. Does it get any simpler than that? I can't make it any simpler than that. All right? You folks, and I told every one of you on your show, Luca,
Mhm.
okay, that yes, this is a problem. James Woolsey backs me up and confirms it. Okay? Yes, he confirms it. You know, for 2 years in a row, he said, yes, we sold weapons of mass destruction. They were there. And then he actually has the entire footage of those P-400 converted bomb casings going into their bunker in Balad. So the 442nd Fighter Bomber Wing of the Iraqi Air Force could drop those weapons on the Kurds, initiating the Anfal campaign. Okay, the Anfal campaign and the Halabja. They destroyed the village of Halabja, and then they dropped those weapons, turned right around and dropped those weapons on the Iranians in the Shah al-Rab waterway. You understand what that means, folks? That means your government has been caught red-handed. Don't worry about me. I just wanted this information out to let you know what a piece of shit government you've had between the Clintons and the Bush family. All right? There we go, folks.
Well, Greg, I think it's one thing. I think it's one thing for the listeners watching this broadcast to, yeah, okay, we hear that, we sold the weapons of mass destruction to Iraq, but to have it confirmed is another story. And I think that should be an incredible weight lifted off of you, because you've been fighting this and fighting this and fighting this, and finally they screw up themselves, which is what I just said in the beginning of the broadcast. And that's natural law, folks. That's called karma. And the Native Americans say that, whatever you do to other people will eventually come back to haunt you. So there we go. That's a prophecy. Greg, this is really good news, though.
Yes, it is. Okay. The next thing to come out, folks, is guess what? It's a very bad thing to be supporting the Israeli Secret Intelligence Service. ISIS? Oh, did I say that? ISIS. Okay. Well, as I said, there's a problem. The Mukhabarat in Samarra, the home city, the founding city of ISIS. Imagine that. And yours truly was an intelligence operative in Samarra, Iraq. All right. So what we have here, folks, is a situation where Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, aka, okay, the leader, the leader of the Mukhabarat, Saddam Hussein's counterintelligence service, okay, yes, he is there and he's been working, okay, and he was working for us. So that means now that between Israel, Saudi Arabia, and America being involved in Iraq, okay, we have a situation where the nuclear detonators, did that come through, Luca?
Yes.
Nuclear detonators. Very bad deal, okay? And the bad deal is that there was material in Iraq to cause a nuclear fissile pile, or AKA a bomb, or several bombs, all right? If you don't believe me, just ask the woman who was a CIA agent, okay, who stepped forward and said, look, we can't be doing this, all right, because they have material for a dirty bomb, or several. That was Valerie Plame. You want to see what happened to Valerie Plame? Go to your computers, folks, and type in the name Valerie Plame. The Plame Gate. Yes, her life, they attempted to destroy her, and they attempted, and this is the Bush administration, and it then attempted to destroy her husband, Joe Wilson, the last functional ambassador to Iraq. All right? So those detonators now, guess who ordered their construction? George W. Bush. It was his first executive order. George W. Bush. And you know what they were specifically required to do? They were designed to detonate dirty bomb material. All right? Gee, does the world look safer now that we've invaded Iraq, destroyed Iraq, we're in Syria at the behest of these people? What part about that just don't you understand, folks? We're in some really dangerous times now.
Mm-hmm.
And what do we have? We have one political party trying to destroy the president, elected president of another political party. Okay,
and
when all of this is going on, and they're both responsible.
And both political parties have the same father, which is Rothschild, because none of them are voted in; they're selected.
Rothschild, Nazis, Nazi Party, Germany, and who do we have on top of that? Brown, Harriman, and Bush. Yeah. Prescott Bush. Okay, that's what we have. That's the trail that leads to our door, folks. And who is threatening America? Who is threatening the world with a banking collapse right now? Right now, Lord Jacob Rothschild.
Yeah.
And here's the scary part, folks. Supposedly 2 weeks ago, he died in a plane crash. But we don't know if he really died. Wink, wink. We don't know if he really died. Okay? So when that happens, as a rule, when something bad happens, let's get the people responsible kind of out of harm's way. All right?
Right.
So that's going on. Now, yes, Luca.
No, I was just going to say, it's just like there's other ones like George Soros also, who plays on countries' currencies, and that's how he makes his money. And, you know, it doesn't matter. The 2008 crash, the one in Greece as well, that's how these crooks make their money. So, you know, we keep saying they don't care about us. We keep saying what's going on, and everything is being validated. So it's time to really listen up. And we're blessed to have somebody like Greg to show us where the cards are lying. It's really good to have you, Greg.
Oh, yes. Hey, it's always a pleasure. And believe me, I gave up trying to listen to my critics. I've got them by the shit wagon full. Okay, folks? I've got, oh, how could it be this? How could it be that? We check this, we check that. Hey, drop dead critics. You've been wrong every single time. People, you listen to somebody who's actually been there, physically standing on that ground, okay? Making those intelligence reports, been trained, educated for years to get there, all right? And that includes 12 years in college to get there and to bring you this information. Because you know why I'm bringing it to you? It's because my commanders, okay, Tiny Tim Ryan, okay, or AKA Lion Ryan, and and by the way, you can go look these names up. Thomas Pappas, Colonel Pappas,
Yeah.
look him up, okay? The father of Abu Ghraib, the master of all that torture, okay? That was my ultimate commanding officer, okay? Something's really wrong here. We got somebody that knows what they're talking about here. It's hard to get around that, okay? Well, then what happens, okay? You've got nuclear detonators running around designed in New Mexico, okay? The top of the line design detonators that can act as nuclear weapons in themselves. We're talking 10 kilograms of enriched plutonium in those detonators. Got news for you, folks. You better not be in a medium-sized city when one of those goes off. That's not even with the nuclear pile that goes with it. They call those pits for a reason. It's the pit that goes into like the cherry or the peach, okay, in the fissile material, okay? It can only happen, it can only be properly detonated with a nuclear pit. And the nuclear pit is a small bomb in itself. Guess what? You folks and especially me, we're all whistling past the graveyard because of these morons we've allowed to actually tell us how the world runs and how making a fortune while they're at it, okay?
Yeah.
All right? So now, is there anybody out there that thinks George W. Bush is a wise man, a kind man, okay, an extremely intelligent man, all right, who worries about you? Okay, folks, hey, if you think that, you deserve everything you get. And it's on the way, if you don't believe me. Let's see what happens Wednesday, okay? The next issue I have to talk about, and this is all on top of you, okay? Go out and take a breath. Take a breath and look up in the sky. What do you see? You see some very strange looking jet streams. I would be one of the last to say, oh, the government wouldn't do something so obvious, okay, to hurt the American citizen as they are doing right now. We're in the middle of a flu epidemic like no one's seen before. I said this the other night. I didn't get any response. Is anybody awake out there? Are you even thinking?
This is great.
Are your hemispheres connected, people?
This is what the problem is, okay? Thank you for letting me cut in here. This is what the problem is. People don't understand that. Americans are asleep. And Greg, what we always try and say on the show is that the people that stay and have a chance to be educated or, aware or, informed of what's going on and they don't do anything about it, not only are they deserving, like Greg just said, of what's going to happen, but they're actually enabling. What we're doing is we're actually enabling the government to kill us. And guess what? We're paying for it through our tax money.
You came across those laws that allowed this, all right? You saw those. I've had them read to me, okay? Those laws passed very quietly in the middle of the night. One of those, as I call them, 2:30 in the morning votes, okay? When you want to get somebody in Congress or the Senate, you want to get somebody sleazed in, okay? You just wait till everybody else is if they're another politician you want to avoid, you just wait till they're drunk on their 7 martinis, or they're home in bed, or they're with their mistress, or maybe they're with Stormy Daniels. Anybody know who Stormy Daniels is? Well, Luca and all our listeners, hey, when Donald Trump, okay, if you can imagine this, Donald Trump, this is before the election, right before the election, okay, he took up residence for a time, for a quiet moment of intimacy with one of the top porn stars. This is going on right now. Don't believe me, but she is a hottie. I saw her finally. Okay, Stormy Daniels. All right, she is a top porn star. All right, and Mr. Trump, Donald, he paid her $150,000 for a little action. Hey, no one's ever offered me $150,000 for a little action. Okay, so I beg everyone, go to their computer screens and look at picture of Stormy Daniels with Donald Trump. All right, because they both look like they just got through making love. All right, and it was
no. That's not making love, Greg. That's not making love. That's called sex.
Well, that too. Okay, but they've got the look. They've got the glow on their cheeks. Okay, something really big happened. Well, have you seen a picture of Melania lately? The first lady? Yes. Okay. That's why she's upset. That's why she's so upset, is because, first of all, Donald Trump probably put himself into a felony prosecution area. All right. That's happening now. And the fact that he put her, his wife, all right. By the way, she is a great looking woman. Okay. Hey, I think every man in America thinks so. All right. But the thing is when you're married, you're not supposed to be flagrantly out there having your picture taken with a porn star after you've had sex with her on the taxpayer's dollar. Okay. Now, gee, look at Bill Clinton. I mean, he did it all the time. Okay. But look at Bill Clinton now. He's out of the business. And look at that pig wife of his. She's out of the business too. Okay. So the deal is, folks, is Mr. Trump is in a situation, okay, where he can stop the lethal chemtrail spraying. The chemtrail spraying is something like this. It means that there's 18 lethal pathogens being sprayed into the atmosphere of America legally. How did that happen? Legally. Okay. Now, have you seen, okay, and I know because I know one of the pilots that's doing it, okay? Have you seen the AMA, the American Medical Association, step forward and say, we better check this out? No, not one complaint from the AMA. Have you seen Big Pharma step forward and say, hey, we've had the best interest of our citizens?
Right.
Okay. Yes, what's the problem? Okay, why are we trying to kill people? And by the way, they are killing people. Yes, the flu isn't any low-grade flu floating out of China over on the jet stream. No, folks, it's not. It's a hybrid version of a spirochete and a virus agent, a viral agent, okay, together. You don't need to even breathe it in. It burrows in to the area of the sternocleidomastoid. Okay, that no wonder children are getting it. They don't have, and children are being clobbered. What, 30, 40, 50 dead in the last couple of days? Okay, San Diego, they're dropping dead like flies. All right, so we have a situation here. Okay, we have a situation where they're intentionally killing you. Your government is allowing your death to happen. Hey, don't believe me? Go look out of the sky tomorrow. Okay, the funny-looking jet streams are chemtrails, and they're trying to murder you. They're trying to kill you. Why? So Big Pharma, which supports, by the way, Hillary Clinton, and most of this stuff did start with the Clintons, of course. Who else? Okay, it's like the torture initiative. Who else started? Okay, it was the Clintons, of course. All right. Well, that's where the chemtrails are coming from, folks. Don't allow it to go on another day. Call your representative and say, listen, you lame, pimped out son of a bitch. What part about you not being in your office another day don't you understand? What part about that don't you understand? The defense industry wants to develop super bugs, super pathogens. Okay, so what do? They test it on you. And the big scream is, what a scream this is that you folks are paying for it. You're paying for the right to be privileged, poisoned, and making money for big pharma, AMA, okay? The defense industry. You people are, all right? Does anybody ever wondered why World War I ended the way it did? It's because of pathogens called the Spanish flu, killing 18-year-olds and 20-year-olds where they were lying in their trenches. They were dead in 8 hours once exposed. They were dead. They were dying by the thousands. It couldn't go on anymore. If you don't have anybody to fight a war, guess what? No more war. Okay? That's what we have right now. So, and the last thing I want to say is a Mr. Cody Snodgres.
Yes.
Okay? Mr. Cody Snodgres is going to be on your show, Luca. Okay? He and I had a very pleasant conversation and confirmed everything we know about the authorized, okay? Now, let me ask this. When did the Oklahoma City bombing happen?
1995.
95?
Yeah.
Yes. Now, who was president in 95? We both know. Even our listeners know. It was Bill Clinton, okay? And why was Oklahoma City, the MURRAH building blown up? Guess what, folks? What a scream. What a scream. It was because of all the drug importation of, and I do mean cocaine.
Yes.
Okay, just about the time when they had to murder Pablo Escobar. Not one drug dealer, more or less, isn't a big deal, especially with him. But the deal is Pablo Escobar was competition to the Bush crime family and crime cartel that was operating there.
Greg, and the other reason, can I say the other reason, please?
Yes.
Because, okay, just remember this part, and I'm going to start in another direction. 400,000 files of vets that are in need of desperate help medically, okay? These are 400,000 files, medical files of the veterans that they don't want to pay a cent for. So they explode the building. Oh, they don't have the files. I'm sorry. Well, guess what? Since Greg has been on this show, we've been talking about DU, depleted uranium, used in the Middle East, 350 tons of depleted uranium in the Gulf War, okay? Now we're talking about it's unbelievable. Now we're talking about the memo that we just heard, that weapons of mass destruction, nerve gas, as we're saying, was sold to Iraq. So think of what the Middle East is looking like right now. So back to Oklahoma City, this is what they blew up the building for. So it's like they're playing with us like little pawns, you know? Somebody in Europe is going, oh, okay, well, let's try with plan B. If plan B doesn't work, let's try plan C. So this is what we're telling people. And okay, so until now, recap, memo. We have a memo that was leaked that says that weapons of mass destruction were sold in Iraq. We have 14 pathogens that are sprayed on us through chemtrails. We have Trump and a porn star, and now we have Cody Snodgres that we were lucky enough to find thanks to Ole Damagard and his show that might be on this show. And I hope we have a threesome with that, Greg. I hope you can join us at that time, because this is too important. So, Greg, I'll keep this very short so that I can get on it right away, and people will be able to watch it very quickly, and it'll be up tomorrow, which is Monday.
Okay. Now, folks, all right, I want to finish this out. I'm not done with Oklahoma City and Cody Snodgres. To refresh your memories, okay, because I know how the American public is. They have the attention span of a housefly, okay? Understand this. Cody Snodgres was offered the contract to blow up the Oklahoma City Federal Building, the MURRAH building. He was offered the contract to do it, okay? Someone else took it. He turned it down, all right? Is he treated like a hero? He's had 3 attempts on his life. He had an attempt week before last, okay? He has had trouble, medically. I mean, his doctors are watching him very carefully. but he will come on this show to make sure that you understand what has happened. The MURRAH building, yes, was designed to basically not pay all the veterans, 500,000 veterans, from going and being exposed to lethal American-made poisons and products that were in Vietnam. Okay, and by the way, do you think the Agent Orange that was sprayed there was really designed to defoliate the jungle so that would protect our troops? Whoops, big mistake if you think that, folks. It was designed to help the CIA back up their drug suppliers, their coca suppliers, their opium suppliers. Okay, big mistake there if you think that. And in the meantime, it poisoned 500,000 of our own troops that we drafted to send over there.
Piece of cake.
Yeah, well, guess what, folks? It ain't a big secret now, so we don't need any kind of classification system to hide all these government embarrassments and humiliations and mass murders of our own people. We don't need that anymore, okay? Yeah, as Kennedy said, hey, when you start seeing classifications in government work, you're seeing crimes in action. In action, all right? And so with this Oklahoma City, okay, you're going to find out that the Clintons made $10 million a month selling drugs in America through Mena, Arkansas, selling drugs. Yes, and that's and you say drugs, say what? Well, say hello to the 200 people that are now ODing, okay, in America due to opium deaths, okay? From, by the way, okay, if you didn't know this, that those are hybrid opium plants genetically designed, okay, to grow in that environment, and yes, and sent to Afghanistan, Pakistan, the Pakis, okay, and Waziristan, all the stands, okay. Guess who designed those high growth, extremely high potency opium poppies? Any idea? UC Davis? Any idea? Okay, to our specific DNA manipulation sites, GMO sites. Yes, it was us who sent those high-powered delivery systems for opium to Afghanistan. And guess who defends those sites now? Special forces, military special forces. Okay, what part about this is amazing to people? Okay, what amazing to me is they let their pimp, sleazy, criminal politicians get away with this, and they let an agency get away with this day in, day out, week after week, and guess who pays for it? You folks. That's the big joke about all this. You folks are paying for your own murders, okay, your own death. Seeing your loved ones murdered, you're paying for it. What a scream, huh? That's what we have here, okay? And so, hey, that's my take on this. Wednesday, stand by, okay? And by the way, Cody Snodgres will be on your show, Luca, okay? Because we spoke about it and the need for it this week, okay? Today, as a matter of fact, and he is going to be on your show with me or without me, of course.
Oh, no, not without you. No, we're going to have the three of us.
Well, the important thing is that the American people get this information.
Yes, and the amazing thing is you're going to hear so much inside information, it'll be haunting. I promise you, it'll be haunting.
There will be nothing like it. Nothing.
I can't thank you enough for doing what you're doing. And I want to tell you, this show, Greg, is built around thanking you and honoring you for your service and what you're doing right now by spitting everything out that you've been taught, so that we can understand what's going on and we can be prepared. I can't thank you enough. We can't thank you enough.
Well, I'll tell you what, for the people that do something, that's what I want to see. It's not good enough, as the Dalai Lama says, it's not good enough to say, this is really bad. Somebody ought to do something. Guess what, folks? It is really bad. And you ought to be demanding right now. You're the one who's paying for it. You're the boss, all right, demanding that the politicians involved, including Hillary Clinton, okay, believe me, very dangerous, psychopathic mass murderer, okay, should be absolutely held accountable, okay, be held accountable. And oh, and by the way, don't be buffaloed by Hillary Clinton and her threats to expose people. Oh, break my heart. Gee, I can feel my eyes, welling up with tears right now over the thought. Okay, these people should go to prison. Forget the slap on the wrist. Forget a fine. They should go to prison.
Yes.
Okay, absolutely. All right, every single last one of these sons of bitches, and then we'll look at the agency. All right, what has the agency been doing with these trillions of dollars? All right, let's start that right now. Okay.
So before we go, we have to say this. This is the awakening process. The awakening is going mainstream. They cannot stop it. When you do negative, you can't expect a positive return. When you do negative to people, you're going to get negative back. There's no argument about that. There's no bartering about that. That's natural law. There's nothing you can do about it. That's why it's always good. My grandmother used to say to always be good, always do good, never lie, like we're taught in school, This is so hypocritical from the government. And what's happening now is that more and more people are waking up. So stay tuned as we are, we're blessed to be among the first to tell you what's going on, thanks to Greg and his position.
And as on a closing note, Luca, thank you. All right. But remember, folks, don't brush your teeth with toothpaste with fluoride. All right. 122 cancers are connected to fluoride. All right. Use baking soda. All right. Polish those pearly teeth. And then get on our show and tell us what you've done to help America. All right. And help your fellow citizens.
There you go.
All right.
Do like me. I have a very good toothpaste that's it's tea tree oil based with eucalyptus. It's really good, and spearmint as well. So there's no more excuse for ignorance. There's no more excuse for any kind of cancer or any diseases. We know already what cures them, and we've been talking about cannabis oil for I don't know how long. We're going to be talking about hemp. We're going to be talking about CannaSense. We're going to be talking about healing. And we're going to be also exposing what government is doing, the evil around us. Until next time, Greg, thank you.
And next time, okay, remember in the words of Bob Marley, everyone needs a head-ucation. All right? Remember Bob Marley. Thank you, Luca.
Thank you. Good night.